You know, guys, I read this meme the other day. It said, if you're not using this time where everything is shut down to get healthy, to learn a skill set, right, to get mentally, spiritually right, whatever it is, it's not that you lacked time, is that you lacked discipline. And that's tough, but that's the truth. You know, guys, right now, most of us have more time than we've ever had. What are you going to do with it? Now, I'm grateful because here's the truth is you being on here already shows me where your mind's at. Like you are already thinking, yo, I want to develop, I want to grow, I want to learn. And that's why you're here. And so I want to commend you on that. And so keep utilizing this time, guys, to go on, go live, to watch the live education, to chart, to back test strategies. All right. So guys, remember, this is more of a question and answer session. So it's not like I come with a preconceived concept of what we're going to talk about. By the way, guys, we're doing this every week now. Okay, so we did it last week. We had a great turnout, I think, and you guys, I feel, got a lot of value from it. And so we're going to be doing this every week. We're playing with the days, but most likely it's going to be today, guys. Tomorrow at the same time, we will have our marketing session. So we'll do a marketing session tomorrow that will go over marketing basics for those of you that want to grow your social media influence, for those of you that care about making the residual income, or you just want to get 2 and free. Okay, you're gonna have the opportunity to be able to do that. All right. So awesome, guys. So here we go. So number one is drop questions in the chat. All right. There's no stupid questions. Okay. Now, if you don't know anything, okay, I know some of you guys are here for the first time, then I would just say this is more of just pay attention, learn what you can, because really, I would want you guys to be going through the academy, getting through the 100 to the 300 series, and then coming with questions that maybe weren't clear. All right. So guys, drop questions in the chat. Again, don't be embarrassed. Please, guys, don't be embarrassed. Also, use your telegrams. I know that there's a lot of hype. People are excited. People are winning. Sometimes it may feel like, I don't know if I want to post questions. Please post questions in there. There's a lot of support, people that want to answer your questions and help you. And like, let's say there's a trade setup and you don't know if you should take it, man, put it in there. Let people, dissect it with you and give you some feedback. So guys, drop some questions in the chat now. You guys have a few minutes to do that. I see you, Caleb. I see your question. We will get to that question. So guys, drop your questions in the chat. Let's look at what the markets have been doing. All right, guys. So this is US 30. So guys, I trade indices a lot. This is something that, we have Kim Torres, Luke Longmire, Jay Adams, he helped me refine my style a lot with US 30. And a lot of you guys are making money on this, man. It's crazy. So guys, if you were to look at the last, so since mid-February, okay, guys, mid-February, we see the market was at all-time highs. Okay, this is the US stock market, all-time highs. All right. And then guess what happens, guys? The coronavirus happens. All right. Now, some people say don't use trend lines. Okay. There's some advanced forms that they don't want you to draw trend lines and stuff. Justin Adams still draws trend lines. I still like trend lines. They're actually, they help a lot. So a trend line is basically a straight line that you can draw on any chart, whether it's a stock, whether it's crypto, whether it's currencies, okay? And you want at least 3 touches, on a trend line. Minimum 2, but really you want 3, 4 touches on a trend line, all right? And then there's this other concept I'm going to give you guys, which is called a channel. All right. Now a channel is a trend line, but in the opposite side. So like the opposite end, kind of like that. Okay. Yes, we do see that price broke out of this channel, but for the most part, it stays in it, Now, I drew that just to show you guys the bottom was on an uptrend. Now, who wants to tell me what an uptrend is? Drop it in the chat how you know what an uptrend is, okay? So price is moving up, 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 up. Coronavirus strikes. And guys, the market just tanked to bloody hell. Just freaking. From this trend line, by the way, who wants to tell me what this is? For those of you that have been studying, tell me what this is. Think Christopher Derrick. Tell me what this is, guys. All right. Trend line's going. Breaks out of the trend line. Guys, it's ridiculous. To give you an idea, since the coronavirus hit, the U.S. stock market, let's say since it broke out of the trend line, so not even the very top. Well, let's take it from the all-time high. So think about this. The U.S. stock market was at the all-time high, okay? Drops. Guys, it drops 11,501 points. This is the U.S. stock market. You could trade this on Hugo's Way and KLT Forex. This is the Dow Jones. It dropped 11,500 points at 10 cents a point. 10 cents a point, which you could do with a $100 account. Who wants to tell me how much you would have made on this one trade? Who's brave enough to try to shoot a number? At 10 cents a point, how much would you have made on this? If you would have just entered a sell with a $100 account, willing to blow it just to see what was going to happen. Who wants to guess how much they would make on 10 cents a pip? So it did 11,500 points. You did it at 10 cents a point. How much did you make? Somebody shoot a number. Don't be afraid. 100K. Nah, not 100K, but at a dollar a pip, you would have made 100K. All right, at a dollar a pip, you would have made 100K. At 10 cents a pip, Gwen's got it. At 10 cents a pip, you would have made $11,000. You could have turned a $100 account to $11,000 by pressing a sell order on this sell right here, guys. How sick is that, right? Okay, write this down. Yes. All right, so here we go. Write this down. Here's your first nugget of the night. When you trade certain pairs like indices, by the way, pip counts are different on every broker. I know that sucks, but every broker kind of counts it differently, right? Most of them are pretty close, but some count them differently. On indices like US 30, on Hugo's Way and on KLT Forex, every point, so do you guys see this number here? It says 11,500. Well, you have to add a decimal to give you the amount of pips. So even though it's 11,000 points, that means that's 110,000 pips. 110,000 pips. At a dollar a pip, you could have made $111,000 on this trade, guys. Is that freaking anybody else yet? Are you seeing why you're here? Are you seeing why this is important to learn this? In one trade, $111,000. Okay? How many of you guys, if that would change your if that would change your life, drop a 444 in the chat. If $111,000 right now would change your life, drop a 444 in the chat. Okay? So now I will say this, don't go jumping into US 30, not knowing what you're doing with a small account. You know, guys, you really got to learn it. Study Forex first. But I'm just giving you guys some golden nuggets here based on the economy right now, okay? So a couple of things I want to talk about. One, this is a channel. Now, how do you know if it's in an uptrend? Here's the simplest way to know, guys. Draw a freaking line on a higher time frame, on the daily, on the 4 hour, whatever you want to draw it on. And if the line is going up, you're on an uptrend. That's the simplest way to put it, right? The technical way to put it is higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And then you have some consolidation, but then higher high, you know, broke. I mean, there's so much that we could talk about. Here it kind of broke, so then it went on a downtrend real quick, and then it said, "Oh hell no, we're coming back up." Boom, 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 and then it kept track. Right, kept going. Actually, you know when this happened? I bet you if you look it up, this was probably around that freaking impeachment time. When the impeachment thing happened, probably I think that's when like the whole market took a quick dip and then came back up. Then coronavirus, straight dip. Okay, so first lesson of the day was in indices, points are counted differently. On US 30, for every point, it's 10 pips. You guys, you can trade it on FX Choice, and it is the same pip count as Forex. So you actually, you know, you don't have to worry about those huge ups and downs that you would with the Hugo. But I use KLT Forex. All right. Now look at this trend line. Boom. Now I want you guys to see this. This is why I still like trend lines, even though a lot of technical people don't use them, because look at what happens. Price breaks the trend line, and then this is what's called a retest. When price retests right here, that's your signal to get in. Your ideal entry was in this candle right here. So even if you didn't catch the original drop, you could have got in right here when it broke the trend line and retested, shot down 8,700 points, which is 87,000 pips. Damn. 87,000 pips. That's pretty sick. All right. All right, guys. So that's US 30. Right now, guys, the US stock market, my thoughts are, you know, price is going to consolidate. The good news is there's not like as much fear and panic because there's some good news about the coronavirus. So if you look at what price has done, it rebounded once the stimulus package processed. It bounced up, and now price has been consolidating for about a week, just chilling. You know, just chilling. You may see some move up, but you ain't gonna see much right now. You may see some move down, which is probably what I expect more of, is a move down. But you know, especially now we got 30 more days. So anyways, the US stock market, guys, it's kind of fluctuating right now. That's my thoughts on that. All right. Consolidation means you're ranging in the same range. It's not going up or down. But the cool thing is on US 30, you can make money even on this. All right. So it's pretty cool. All right. Who do you use to trade indices? I use KLT Forex. KLT Forex, guys, you can only fund it with Bitcoin, but you can do that with Cash App or Coinbase. And they have better spreads. So if you guys are entering your trades on demo, you guys will usually notice that when you enter a trade, the number is typically negative at first. I don't know if you guys have noticed that, right? Enter a trade is negative. That's called a spread. That's because the brokers are going to make sure that you got to kind of earn your way up. And that's how kind of they're making money. So there's a spread, okay? When you do US 30 on Hugo's Way, there's a much bigger spread than on KLT Forex, which is why I like KLT Forex. Justin Adams uses KLT Forex, one of our trading mentors, okay? Let's answer the two questions that were given. Edwin, exactly. Higher highs, higher lows. You got it, bro. Higher highs, higher lows means uptrend, okay? Lower highs and lower lows, that means downtrend, okay? Edwin got it. Question from Edwin. What times are the 4 major sessions open in South Florida time? I'm a bit confused with the mountain times. Okay, so let's go to Google. I know what they are, but I want us to Forex times in Eastern. All right, guys, here you go. All right. So local times. This is pretty accurate. Local times. Sydney opens at 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. Now, I will tell you that I think, okay, there it is, spring and summer. So March through and April through October. Okay, so 5 p.m. Now, if you guys have noticed, there's a time where the markets, um, they sometimes freeze, okay? And sometimes you get hit with swap fees, okay? And so be careful trading. Here's another nugget. If your stop loss is tight and you're in heavy profits, better to close a trade before 5 p.m. When you roll over to the next trading day, what happens is you get hit with fees. So I've had people hit me up, yo, man, they closed out my trade or whatever, like, or I lost this trade and it was in profit. Well, what happens is when the next day opens, so when Sydney opens, okay, remember, New York closes, and these are estimated times actually here, guys. I have a little bit of a different window that I go by, but I'll balance it with this. So whenever the New York stock market closes, okay, here it says 5 p.m. I like to balance it around 4 p.m. is when I mentally clock out of the New York Stock Exchange, right? So New York closes, I like to figure it at 4. Now, when it's after 4 p.m., at 5 p.m., if you're still in that trade, you'll get hit with a swap fee and you'll get hit with huge spreads. So what will happen is if you're in a trade, you could be up good money, and if you don't have enough wiggle room between your stop loss, you'll get stopped out and you'll be like, what the heck happened? I was in profit. Well, that's because you went into the next trading day. Because even though it's 5 o'clock here, now in Sydney, it's 7 a.m. Sydney just opened. You kept your trade open till the next day in the broker's opinion, and they charge you. So here's the point of the story. Write this down. If I'm in a trade and I'm happy with my profits, close it before 5 p.m. Just write that down and remember it. That's happened a million times to a million people. All right. Let's go through the times, guys. So Sydney opens. It says 5. Typically I'm closer to 6. 5, and maybe there is some movement there, but I'm thinking 6 p.m. is when the market's really open and the spreads come down a little bit more. They close at 2 a.m. All right. Tokyo opens at 8 p.m. Okay, and stops at 5 a.m. So if you're gonna trade, Sydney times, which is Australia. So if you're gonna trade in the evenings, what I would say is trade during the times that there's an overlap. So for instance, it would be 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. There's like an overlap where Sydney and Tokyo are both trading. So there's more money in the markets. Believe it or not, there's actually some good movements on some of our indices, US 30, UK 100, German 30. There's some good movement, gold, even oil. They move during Tokyo sessions, so you can catch some moves there. All right. Now, Sydney closes at 2 a.m., but guess what? Nobody talks about this, but Germany's session, which is not like a major session, but it is a session, opens an hour before London. And that's why you'll notice that around 2 a.m., the markets start pumping. So if you want to trade at night, man, 2 a.m., there's money flowing into the markets. I call it the pre-London market. 2 a.m.'s pumping. There's some good volume in the market, some money moving in the market. You catch some moves. 3 a.m. though, boom, that is when the market opens. All right. Now, New York, 8 a.m. Okay, they say the 8 a.m. market, but here's what I would say is the real New York is around 9:30 a.m. when the New York Stock Exchange opens. So even though yes, the Forex market moves at 8 a.m., if you really want to get into New York, you're looking at like 9. There are some moves that happen around 7 a.m. and 8 a.m., right? Pre-New York times. London is running. There are some good moves that happen, but here's what I'll tell you is be cautious. Write this down. Be cautious of entering trades right before the London market opens or right before the New York session opens. I've noticed there's a lot of fake outs that happen. So what that means is when London really opens, the real buyers or sellers in the market may just wipe you out, even though you had a bunch of confirmations. So unless like the thing's already moving in your direction and you're catching a move before the session, don't get into a move right before the bell rings and 8 a.m. what happens and 9 a.m. Like if you're gonna wait for New York, then wait for New York. Wait till like 9:30, money's moving. Same thing with London. You're gonna wait for London, man, wait for London to be moving 3:30. You know what I'm saying? If not, if you're gonna do a pre-trade, then you want to be trading like maybe at midnight, 1 a.m. and make sure that there's enough money moving so that you can catch the move, because a lot of times the session will open and it can go in the opposite direction of what you wanted. So guys, that's basically it. If you're going to be trading Tokyo and in the Sydney sessions, I would say 7 p.m. is a great time to start. 8 p.m. it'll really start moving, and you can trade between like 8 p.m. and 12. You can do a lot of scalping in that time. So that's pretty cool. London, Germany opens at 2, so there's volatility. London opens at 3 a.m., so you're good to go there. And then New York, they have it listed as 8. But I would actually say you want to get into that market around 9 or 9:30 a.m. I see we have something in the chat. Awesome nuggets. All right, guys. Awesome. Good, good, good. Glad that helps. All right, here we go. What are the best pairs to trade between the opening of London and the close of Tokyo? So obviously, you want to go by whatever the currency is represented, what country it's represented, if that country's running, right? So off the back, I think of Euro JPY, EJ. Euro JPY is going to be running because why? JPY is the Japanese yen and the euro, right? So Euro JPY off the bat, I would say would probably be a good one. AJ, the Aussie yen, so just look up, GBP, JPY, GJ, powerful forex pair. GJ moves like a beast. You guys want to know the secret devil? You guys want to know what the secret devil is? I mean, this thing's a freaking, like, it's a beast. It's like a US 30. It's a sick animal. It's really a sick animal, and it'll fake you out. So freaking trade it on demo. But if you can master it, she's a beast. Like you can make love to her or you can hate her, right? You can make war, make babies, but it's gonna be, and it's pound Aussie, GBP AUD. You're talking about hundreds of pips. Let's look at GBP AUD together. Now she'll really move hard during London. All right. Let me reset this chart. I don't even know this. I don't know if you guys are old enough to have seen a movie called Gone in 60 Seconds. It was a movie from Nicolas Cage, and they would steal cars. Anybody ever seen that? Drop a 1 in the chat if you ever seen that before. But basically, in Gone in 60 Seconds, there was this car, and that car was like his arch nemesis. He loved it, but it was his arch nemesis. And that's what Pound Aussie, man, for me, it's like, yo, like I love Pound Aussie, but Pound Aussie would kick my freaking behind because just so freaking wild, man. Look at this double bottom right here. So price comes, touches the trend line or the support area, comes back, touches it again. Look at these wicks, guys. Remember, wicks tell a story. So when it does the double bottom off the trend line, sheesh. In 3 hours, 300 pips. 300 pips on a Forex pair in 3 hours. So what I would call Pound Aussie is Eleanor. If you guys remember Eleanor from the movie, it was like this car, man. Every time he freaking took that car, it was like something crazy happened. You know what I'm saying? And so I started calling Pound Aussie Eleanor because it would just beat my butt. My highest payday was on Eleanor, though. My highest payday was on Eleanor. Who wants to tell me what they see here? Does anybody see anything in here? Who wants to tell me what market structure pattern this is in here? Yes, Shelby Mustang. You know what I'm talking about, Javier. That's Pound Aussie, man. Sheesh. That's Eleanor. Yes, yes. Beautiful ride. All right, guys. Who wants to tell me what this is? Any takers? Going once, going twice. Yes, there was a downtrend there. But the actual word I'm looking for. We could even say. Yes, Marlene, exactly. Head and shoulders pattern, guys. Do not look for them to be perfect. Okay? But look for them. If you guys are new, I don't want you to get overwhelmed. So there's the neckline here. So this is like a level of support, kind of in this area. So here's the thing about head and shoulders. If there's anything I could tell you guys is learn head and shoulders because they happen all the time and on different time frames. On TradingView, you have this little button here. You can bring it back. And you could even, yeah, there it is. All right. So here's the thing. You're looking at this. You see that price pushed down, pushed up, pushed down, pushed way up. Wicked the top means it could not pass. A lot of sellers in this area push down, and then you see price push up. Okay? You could have kind of considered this the beginning of the head and the shoulder. So you're trying to catch that shoulder move right there, right? Then price continues. Drops. So you're like, damn, did I miss it? Comes back. Okay. So you could have got in on two different entries. Okay. So you already saw there was a shoulder in this area here. Guys, study Abel Melendez. Okay. Study Oren Wright on Go Live. So this is a shoulder. This is the head. So anything that starts wicking after it came down and touched this zone, well, that's your other shoulder that you're waiting for. Those are your entry points. You could have got in here. Could have got in here. And then price tanks. All right. Now, let's see something. If you would have got in on this first entry right here, sheesh, do you guys, hold on. I want to make sure. Pound Aussie on the 1 hour, I believe it's counted 4 digits in. 4 digits or 3 digits? Hold on real quick, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. All right, so I'll tell you, I suck at counting pips, okay? Now, I will tell you, I don't know if that's 69 or 690. I think it's 69, but I will verify it with you guys at a later moment. But I will tell you something. Whatever that is, that's how you catch a head and shoulders. At 69 pips, at $1 a pip, that's 69 bucks. At $10 a pip, that's 690 bucks right there, okay? Like, that's how you catch it. Head, shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, enter, boom. Okay, it's that freaking powerful. All right, and I'm pretty sure that is 69 pips is what that ends up being because it counts it off to 4. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. That will be you. I got to get back to you. Hold on. You know what? Let me ask. I know who I'll ask. 1 second. I'm going to find out for you guys. Let's see how many pips that was. Hold on. I've been focused on indices, so I haven't traded stuff like Pound Aussie in a minute. Let's see. So that's how you catch the move, guys. Learn the market structure patterns, okay, and you get in. Now, somebody said something about inverted head and shoulders, all right? Inverted head and shoulders would look like the opposite. Now, look at this cool trick. Right here, there's a little gear, and then you could actually come here and press invert scale. This is an inverted head and shoulders, all right? Actually, yeah. So you would have got in here and then it shoots this way. So inverted head and shoulders are for buys, regular head and shoulders are for sells. And again, it's the invert scale button. That's how you do it. And I see the question, it's like, how did you rewind it? Okay, when you go to, oh, and look, price came back, retested that zone and redropped. How sick is that? So when you guys go to your trading view, there's a button up here that says replay. Click that, and then you see this little red line. It'll rewind it to wherever you want. So the cool thing about this is, boom, now you can test your strategies out. You can test how much you know the market, and the markets could be closed. You guys could be doing this on the weekends, okay? Guys, Justin Adams says that is 690 pips. I didn't want to tell you that because I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of freaking pips. I wanted to make sure that I'm counting it right. Guys, that's a 690 pip move, okay, on a Forex pair, which is, that's pretty ridiculous, all right? At $1 a pip, that's $690. Your boy's going to start trading Eleanor again, I think. I mean, you know, it's ridiculous, right? The markets have been moving crazy, guys, ever since everything's been going on. So that's how it works. You see that? So you could test it in real time. So you guys should be doing this and, you know, and practicing, okay, would you get in? Would you not get in? And you can rewind the tape. And, you know, think about it like in sports, they replay the tape of the opposite team so that they can like strategize, okay, when they do this, let's do that. It's the same thing in these markets, all right? All right, guys, give me some more questions. We got about 15 more minutes. Give me some more questions. There's no dumb questions, okay? How much Steve, how can I know how much to broker on a pair? I don't know what that question means. I don't know what that question means. I don't know what that question means. Don't worry about how much the broker charges. I mean, they have it in there, like, but it's like, you know, it's pennies on the dollar. There's so if you go to 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay. When you go to your your trading view, go to advanced. Okay, so let's see if I can show you guys. Okay, kind of looks ugly, like fuzzy, right? But at the top of your MetaTrader, there's simple and there's advanced. Turn your advanced on, and then underneath of each pair, like US 30, all the currencies, you're going to see a number that says spread. Now, that spread, okay, is how much I get. That I guess maybe that's your question, how much they charge. So for instance, if I was to trade Euro USD right now, now I will tell you again, the math, man, the math is sometimes a pain in the butt, okay? But like for instance, if it says let's just try it real quick. Let me try it. I'll tell you right now. So Euro USD is saying 10. Let me make sure. Let me get to my demo account. Okay, boom. So let's do a trade right now. It says USD is 8. So I'm gonna do $1 a pip, $8. So basically, yep, I was confirmed, guys. That move that I just showed you how to catch is 690 pips. So that means at $1 a pip, you could catch $690 just by learning how to read this. How many of you guys, if you caught a trade and made $690, would be happy? Drop a 777 in the chat right now. All by learning a pattern, okay, and entering the stinking trade. Okay, you know that's how it works. Okay, it's not rocket science, but there is a science, but you can learn it. That's why our platform does what it does, especially now, guys. I mean, let's just can we just have a conversation? And I'm gonna get back to the spreads in a second. Listen, can we just have a conversation together real quick? We have the ability. Now we have to learn. We have to study. We have the ability to literally make money out of thin air. One of our new guys just hit me up. I don't want to put him out there. He's like, yo, 100 grand on a trade. That's like making gold out of thin air. Well, my friends, that's what we have. And that's why we need to share this. You understand me? Like in a time where people are like desperate, right? We have the ability to make thousands of dollars online. It's that powerful, all through the palm of your hands, all on trade, on your phone. You got the sauce. You're in the right place. Stick and stay, and you'll get paid. Braden today had a $600 trading day. How many of you guys listen? Don't write. You don't have to write this, but if you can make $600 in a day, for a lot of us here, that would be your biggest payday ever. Right? Compared to any job you've ever had. Yeah, they give you bonuses sometimes, but on the normal day-to-day basis, most of us here ain't making $600 in a day. Stick and stay and you'll get paid. Now check this out. You go into trading. I'm answering the question on how to know what the broker charges. You go into MetaTrader 4. You go from simple. It's always on simple. Click advanced. And now you're going to see spread on the sides. And that's how many pips it is, guys. So you want to watch that, okay? Especially like Tokyo session, the spreads are even higher than normal. So it's pretty crazy. Like right now, the spread on oil is 8 pips. Let's try USD CAD or Aussie CAD. Hold on. I'm going to do Aussie CAD at $1. It also has to do with how they calculate it. So for instance, and if you don't, here's the best way to check, like how I'm checking. Take a trade on demo at $1 and see how negative you are. So for instance, Aussie CAD, it says 33, but it's actually not 33 pips. It's like 33 pipettes, which ends up being like 3 pips, okay? So you could just test it. For instance, US 30 here, it tells me it's 600, but I know it's not 600 pips. So let me see. At $1 a pip, I'm going to sell 80. It started off at 80. So it's like 800 pipette, so it's like 80 pips. So right now, if you do a trade on US 30, well, now it's 60 pips. So if you did $1 a pip, you'd be negative $60. But remember, very important, it's because of the session. Remember this, in Tokyo and Aussie sessions, it's the most spreads. So that's why you want to trade during London or New York, because the spreads are less. Let me see something. Let me add AJ. Okay, so check it out. The 2 sessions that are happening right now is Australia and Japan. So if you trade the Australian versus the Japan right now, it's only 1.7 pips. It's almost nothing. But if you try to trade something that's New York based, if you try to trade something that's European based, it actually ends up being more. So just be watchful of that. But that's how you calculate the spread. Okay, let's go to Marlene's question. Very good. And we can probably end here. If somebody has one more question, we'll drop it. You cannot add KLT Forex to TradingView. You can only go based off of the brokers they have. So let me show you. So when you go into TradingView, it tells you the pair here. All right. So let's look at AJ because we're in the Aussie European time zone. Okay. So when you're going to enter the pair, you'll notice it gives you all of these different brokers. So you can do it with currency.com, Saxo, ICE, Forex.com, Oanda, or FXCM. I just use FXCM for everything that I can, Oanda for everything else. No big deal, doesn't matter, right? But you cannot add KLT Forex onto TradingView because they don't have it. It's not associated there, okay? So pay attention when you enter the numbers on KLT Forex, for instance. This is more advanced stuff, but you guys need to know this. On KLT Forex right now, it has the price at 65.346. On this broker, it has it at 63.46. So it's almost a 12 pip difference. So pay attention to that, guys. Pay attention to that, okay? Because the pips, the price will be a little different. Now remember, market structure is market structure. You know, so don't like if the move is good here, it's going to be good there. But again, pay attention to the prices because they'll be a little different here. Now, I will tell you guys something. I don't want to confuse you, but I'll tell you. Hold on, I want to look at something. 6347. So for instance, here AJ is still at 6533. Here it's at 6533. Here it's at, let's not use this one. This one's too far off. This one's weird. Let's look for a second. There it is, 63. Yeah, so the Japanese pairs are calculated a little differently also. So it's calculated off of a different digit. So it's a little different on the pricing. But anyways, there it is. That's why. There it is. That's what I wanted to see. 65.34. Okay, so it's only about 2 pips off. Here it's 65.33, 65.32. Here it's 65.34. So it's going to be a little off, but not so much. And it's like, oh man, I can't take the trade. Okay. So what I would say is, go through them, try to find the one that's more closely related to your broker in the actual price in real time. And that's your decision, but you can't add KLT Forex to here. All right. Now let's go to Marlene's question because she has a technical question that I think is pretty important. All right. So she said, what time frame do you enter the trade? Okay. Here's the thing. There's no magic formula, but here's what I would say. Okay. For most of your shorter term trading, meaning you're going to be in a trade tops a few hours, that's intraday. You're going to be entering, I would be entering off the 15. Okay. Now, for certain trading styles that I do, such as indices like US 30, if you're going to trade cryptos, even gold, I even go down to the 5-minute. And if you guys ever start doing binary options and stuff like that, I even go down to the 1-minute and 3-minute. Okay. But for the most part, most trades you can enter off the 15-minute, because it'll give you some good wicks. Like, look at this, right? Comes back, doji, evening. This is an evening star formation, evening star picture. The sun's going down. So bullish candle, doji, wicks on each side, bearish candle. This is an evening star. You can catch it on the drop. On the 15-minute, perfect pattern, perfect candlestick pattern. But if you watch it on the hour, you don't have that candlestick pattern. You see that? So for most Forex guys, 15 minutes pretty cool. I like it. When I start getting into indices, I go down to the 5-minute. And you'll notice that there's still market structure on the 5-minute. So like for instance, let's look at this 1 hour. Why does it do that? All right. On the 1 hour, price comes down to this area. And then shoots up, right? Kind of hard to catch this because too much, you know, it's like, can't really see what's going on. Break it down though. Check it out. You had a double bottom, also known as equal lows, right? So if you were on the 1 hour, again, it was just one move. Came down, shot up. But if you look at it on the 15-minute, it gave you an entry zone. What's the entry zone? Okay, you saw it happen here, but you didn't get in. But it comes back, and this is when you hear the words retest, comes up, comes down, retest the zone, enter off of this wick or this wick, or any of these wicks. You guys see how it's wicking? Like it's trying to pass this price area, but it can't. Even if you would have entered on those first wicks right here, and you would have said, I'm going to take it down to at least kind of like where that previous wick was right here. Boom. You would have never been more than 13 pips in profit or in drawdown. And this thing freaking shoots up 139 pips, all by catching it on the break and retest of this level, which you could not have seen on the 1 hour, but you break it down to the 15, and now it gives you an entry point. So you didn't get in right away because you were like, man, I don't know if it's gonna do it, right? But it actually shoots up, back down. That's the retest, shoots up. Man, get your freaking money and run. When do you get out of the trade? Man, you get out of the trade where there's market structure. Where's their market structure? Look for a high that couldn't pass before. Guys, even if you would have written it out to right here, boom, 113 pips, right? 113 pips times $1, $113 at $10. That's, you know, $1,100, right? Something like that. $1,134. All right, is what it ends up being at $10 a pop. So that's it. So Marlene, I would do 15-minute on Forex. I would do 5-minute on indices. All right. I caught the up and the down this morning with Manny Q. Oh, this was the trade? How sick is that? This was the trade that he rode up and down? That's sick, man. That's amazing. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I'll give you guys one more question. Any more questions before we go? Big thing I would study, guys, is this. All right. This is what really helped me get to that next level. Okay. Forex candlesticks. Really, guys, this is an art. You gotta study this. Okay. Now, something that a mentor told me. So one of my trading mentors, his best trading day, he made about $116,000 in one trading day. Okay, one of my trading mentors. He taught me really to study candlestick patterns. And, you know, he told me something. It's not important that you remember the names. It's important that you remember what they mean. So for instance, I called it an evening star, right? Like here they're talking about hanging man, all this stuff. You just got to remember what it means. You know, bullish engulfing, bearish engulfing. You know, this one, I don't really use this one much. I don't use this one much. You know what a doji is. But study candlesticks. So look up candlestick patterns. There's a candlestick pattern Bible inside of my in the Market Mastery Telegram. If you go to the media, somewhere there you'll find it. But look it up, Candlestick Bible. There's also a free app that you guys can study. Study these candlesticks, guys. Are really, really cool. Also, Forex market patterns. All right. You know, you don't got to remember all of these, but you got to remember the big ones like head and shoulders, important, double tops, important, double bottoms, inverted head and shoulders. These wedges, you know, you should study those because the way that I just think about it is they always pop to a direction. If you guys have ever seen these before, so it's important to know which direction it will pop. You know, so just study some of these patterns, study candlestick patterns and market structure patterns. You can just Google it and just look at these and start learning. Abel Melendez in IM Academy, he's probably the best that teaches this, in my opinion. So very, very good stuff. Larry, I don't use the pro. So basically the pro, they give you a pro on all of the pairs, and the pro just charges you differently. I don't remember exactly how it charges, but it was kind of weird, right? So just use the regular US 30. Don't do the pro. Again, it's how they charge you. If you want more information, you can go to the broker's website or ask their support, and they'll give you the breakdown. But it's really just how they charge you their commissions, all right? So good stuff, guys. Well, look, I hope you got value from tonight. If you guys got value from tonight, drop a 222. If you guys got some takeaways from tonight's call. I'm glad. All right. Guys, I'm going to keep doing these. All right. So we're going to do these every week. Okay. You know, I'm going to do these every week because I want you guys, one, for you to be able to get on and get your questions answered. As we get new people, I want to make sure that there's a time like this because I get it. You know, sometimes on the platform, you know, like the instructors have their agenda, they know what they're going through, but this is an intimate moment where, and an intimate time where you guys can ask questions and we can dig deep, you know, because here's the thing. If one of you had the question, somebody else probably had the question too. So it allows us to explore it. So make sure you guys let people know that you got value from these calls. We're going to do them every week. As of now, they're scheduled for Wednesday, so I'll keep you guys posted on that. So anyways, guys, have a great night. Listen, stick and stay and you'll get paid. Stay focused. Like I told you guys, man, I have mentors that have made hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars with trading, you know. So just know that, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it. And the last nugget I'll give you is find something that works for you. You know, on these calls, I'm going to give you guys generalized knowledge, but find what works for you, right? There's a group of people that, you know, they learn the market structure patterns, but like the Trade House course that Greg is really good at, if you guys know Greg, you know, they tell you, man, we're not even worried about market structure patterns. That's the next level though. But I want you guys to know market structure patterns, and personally, I still use them. I get a lot of great entries on them. And you know, and so does Justin Adams and stuff. So I still use them. I also use indicators. Some people don't like indicators. So the point is, find what works for you. There's no wrong way, right? Just like there's no wrong way to eat a Reese's, right? There's no wrong way to trade. You just got to find what works for you. And man, get on your freaking demo account. You know, there was a girl, you know, she learned how to trade here. She was doing demo. She hit me up today. You know, she already made, you know, her first live account made $300 in a day. You know, so just study the crap out of this stuff. It'll make you money if you really take it seriously, right? So guys, that's our time, man. Hope you had a great time. Justin Adams is live on Go Live right now. So if you guys, you know, have the time, get on his session. He's really good. We caught an awesome USD CAD trade today. Grew my account with that trade. Freaking dropped right before the market ended. So, all right, guys, you're welcome. Have a great night. All right, take care.